The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the CJ Howard Show. Episode number 18 here, as I'm live from my home in Barberville, Kentucky. Glad to be with you on another Sunday night here in December. We are 2 weeks away from Christmas, and happy holidays to everybody out there. Just put in the bed the books to the 35th annual WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic. We will get into that here momentarily. We've got other topics we're going to talk about. UK basketball. We'll talk about everything here on the show tonight. If you'll give us a phone call, 1-346-314-0906 is the number you can give us a call. Our guest list tonight, we're going to have at 8:10, Travis Smith's going to be with us, the head basketball coach of the Owsley County Lady Owls. At 8:30, Eddie Browning's going to join us, athletic director at Hazard High School. He's also been athletic director at Prairie Central and other places throughout the world. And he's also wrestled. We're going to talk about Eddie with certain topics, why we got him on the show. Then at 9 o'clock, we got Nate Valentines, the head basketball coach of the Laurel Jaguars. And this is a surprise. Now, some people didn't know this. Reed Shepard's also going to be on the show with us tonight. Going to be with Coach Valentine. So I thought that I really appreciate that, Coach Valentine doing that for me. And they're going to join us at 9 o'clock. And then at 9:30, the farewell to our really good friend, Miss Camille Gear. She will be leaving to head to Iowa to work at a TV station down there. We do have a go-away video for her. And we're gonna miss her. She did a lot for WYMT in the 5+ years she was there, and we're gonna miss her. But we'll talk about that at the other show. We want some happy times right now, not sad times. But got a great co-host with me tonight. One of my really great friends. When I need help, he's always there to help me. He's like Danny Hall. When I pick up the phone, I can pretty much get what I need. Mr. Anthony Bazalian with me. Anthony, great to have you with us starting off, but usually I see you at the Mountain Classic, but this week you've been busy with some other things.
Well, CJ, it's always an honor to be on your show and echo what you said. You're a great friend. Always good talking with you. Thank you for having me on the show tonight. And, it was the 35th annual WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic tournament this week. But as you mentioned, was just booked up with a bunch of other stuff. You know, the Lady Cougars and the Cougars have started their season full force in basketball. The Cougars have a new coach in Matthew Taylor. I have enjoyed getting to know him. Matthew's just a great guy, a great coach. He's going to be he already is a great leader for these young Cougars, even with a veteran mix. But it's been great to get to know him. Keith Baker, he's got a veteran group, and the Lady Cougars have started their season as well, too. They're 5-2. Of course, the Cougars are, at this moment right now, they are 2-2. Their game with Pike Central got canceled yesterday. So, yeah, man, 1039 the Bulldog and the Cougar Nation keeping me busy. And, of course, I'm sure you probably already talked to him. One of my good friends, I'm sure a good friend of you, Manus Blair, the new AD up there at Letcher County Central. And, boy, he's off to a great start and doing a great job.
We had Magnus on here when we had Coach Thomas from Bergen on that show, and that was a really great show. Anthony, we talked about the 35th annual WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic. It just completed yesterday. We have 2 new champions. That's rare because I think everybody coming in thought North Laurel and Knox Central were locks to win it again, but North Laurel stubbed their toe in the quarterfinal. I mean, the semifinals against Knox County, and then last night, just Prairie Central still played Knox Central. I mean, they got up to a good start, 10-2 lead in the first quarter. Knox Central sort of struggled to hit some shots early. They couldn't gather the tempo what Prairie Central played with. It seemed like Prairie Central was just a lot more aggressive around the glass. Landon Napier was the MVP for Prairie Central. The Estill County transfer really played well last night. But all around the board, Prairie Central just played a really good game. And Shannon Hoskins and the Commodores deserved to win that. And in Cassidy Rowe, the UK commit, really put on a show in the fourth quarter. there to pull out the 4-point win over Knox County.
CJ, your mic there was going a little bit robotic. I don't know what happened on your end there, but I did catch everything you said. You go back, you think about this here real quick, talking about two new champions. Shelby Valley winning their first YMT Classic back in 2013 over Letcher County Central in what was a very highly contested game. I was doing Red Hat for WYMT at that time and remember that game at the John C. Combs Arena very well. You look at the Lady Patriots of Knott County Central, their first win, and I can't see the comments, but whoever's saying that, hey, what's up? But anyway.
David Tiny Cottle.
Okay. And now you're coming in clear and everything like that. But back to what I said is you talk about Shelby Valley. They won it in 13. Knott County Central wins it in 2016. They defeated Bell County, the Lady Bobcats that were coached by Jeff Teague. That was the year after Macy Morris. They get their win. So both teams a championship. And we're also coached by Jeff Honeycutt. So both teams looking for their second championship. I heard a little bit of it after the ball game I finished up in London yesterday with the Lady Cougars. They played Corbin, by the way, last week over there at South Laurel in that classic tournament. And South Laurel, great host. Coach, it was always good to see the coaches over there. Coach Schauder of the Lady Cardinals and what he's doing with that team over there. But anyway, back to the Mountain Classic. It sounded like Knott County had a chance to beat Shelby Valley. The Rowe picked up her fourth foul there towards the end. It was a 51-49 game I heard on the radio, and it just sounded like Shelby Valley just had just a little bit more in the tank and pulled it out. But, Coach Honeycutt, what can you say about him at Knott County Central? The man has been to the regional finals every year except 2016 since 2015 over there in the 2016 was his only year. He's not been there since 2015 because the only year they lost was in 2020 against the Lady Cougars. So you look at what he's been able to do with that program over in Knott County. You look at what Coach Rowe's done over there in the 15th region with Shelby Valley. You mentioned Cassidy Rowe going to the University of Kentucky. But one of the things about that 15th region, CJ, is really the Pikeville Lady Panthers and what Coach Christy Orem, has been able to do over there. And that is just a tough region, no matter how you look at it. I think all the regions from the 13th through the 15th are pretty tough. And it was a great classic. I wasn't there, but just from what I've heard, what I've read from other people that was there and other people that watched it, heart and soul was I think the definition. And, I think what you said is I think Perry Central was the sleeper. I was telling someone last night, I said, Perry Central really winning this classic to me, in ways it is shocking, but in ways it isn't because of what they brought back and who they brought back for this year. They brought a lot of kids back, but you can never doubt Shannon Hoskins. I think that's now the third time he's won this classic. He's got 2 regional championships, and you just never know. And I got to give props to Gus Aswell, too, if we're talking about the classic. Coach Akow and Jordan over there and the Gist boys and all of them down there at Harlan had a great effort, played Knott County to the wire in their first game of the season, had to go into overtime there, almost beat Perry Central, but it looked like it was a great classic. And, what was really interesting too, CJ, was weather-wise, the classic didn't have to go through any snow this year.
Yeah,
I know it snowed.
It
snowed a little bit Wednesday morning on my way to work, but they didn't have to deal with that this year. But the YMT Classic, always a great classic, and it's a staple of the mountains.
If you don't know the scores of the games, I do have them right here. We opened up the tournament Monday night with girls action. It was Knott County 41, Belfry 28. This game was actually a 4-4 or 5-point game all the way through. Knott County just pulled it out real late. And then Shelby Valley put away Leslie County late, 58-40. This was a 3-point game going in fourth quarter, but Shelby Valley put on a Cassidy Rowe scored 10 of her 20 points in that quarter. Tuesday night, it was boys action, and we'll get back to that just as soon. Well, just a few minutes here, as we're going to be joined now by the head basketball coach of the Owsley County Lady Owls, Mr. Travis Smith. Travis, it is an honor to have you back on the show.
Oh, it's always an honor to be here. I always enjoy it. A little fun to talk a little about mountain basketball.
Oh, yes. Great to have you with us, Coach. Got a lot going on. Talk to me about your team. I think the first surprise when I don't know if it's a surprise for you, but sort of a surprise for people in the mountains that when Lexi come back and talk about her returning and how the kids responded to that when you first heard the news. Hold on, we got a phone call. Hold on, well, let's change it in 1 second, Coach. We got a phone call. We got a lot going on at one time.
Hey, Coach.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the CJ Harris Show.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing well. How about you?
Yeah, now listen, if you get time, message me your new phone number if you get time.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that, Ryan. What is on your mind tonight?
Why throwed you for a loop or anything, or just this has been the norm?
Well, so far it's been the norm. Now we've seen a couple of games go a little crazy. I want to apologize to Travis and Anthony. They cannot hear the phone call, but I'm going to help them out while they're listening. It's been the norm in some places, but I think others it's been a little different. I think we're starting to find out who the contenders are and who the pretenders are. Ryan, some teams are surprising early. I think we saw a couple in the Mountain Classic. So we're just going to have to keep adjusting from week to week. The first week of December is really hard to judge because you got a lot of teams playing teams that don't know a whole lot about, and that leads to a lot of chaos. So you have to go through that. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you can peak too early. Also, though, can help your team gain a lot of confidence. I thought Prairie Central was a good example for the boys' side. I thought Shannon's team, they got trashed by Harlan County 2 weeks ago. But they came back. They settled themselves in. They got in the Mountain Classic. They found a way to win the ball game, and they won the Classic. So that just shows you right there that anything can go if you stay positive. Now, these kids has been through a lot in the last 3 years with COVID and this and that. COVID's still out there. We're still having cancellations, but right, it's just the thing that everybody's got to bond together and keep trucking along. Yes, because I thought Winsburg's a decent basketball team. They're not the elite team in the 13th, but you go down to Winsburg, you better be ready to play. And Harlan County, I think, maybe overlooked them. Yeah, well, he's got his hands full Tuesday night. He's got the South Laurel Cardinals coming to Harlan County right before there's a girls' game, Leslie County, Harlan County at 6:00. So we're gonna see where their attention span is on Tuesday night. I will take care of you, Ryan. No problem. All right. Thank you, Ryan. He's doing much better. He's home, and he's in there rested right now, and we're taking good care of him. Good night, Ryan. God bless. All right, Ryan Farmer. He's from Leslie County. Always gives a call. All right, guys. I know you couldn't hear that phone call, but you could hear me giving you just an idea of what he was wanting to talk about. But Travis, I was right in the middle of it. We talked about Lexi. Let's start with her and her coming back and how the team responded.
I mean, I wasn't really shocked when Lexi decided to come back. She really enjoys the game. She really enjoys the high school experience. As soon as they started talking about the Senate bill, she's one of the first kids that mentioned, this is something I'm going to look at. And then when she made the final decision, obviously as a coach, I'm ecstatic. Anytime that you get a kid like that back, just takes your team to a new level without question. And as far as the team taking her back, I know we've got kids that have played, I don't want to say in her shadow, but sort of in her shadow for the past 3 or 4 years. But at the same time, anybody that knows Lexi and knows anything about her, she is just the greatest kid. She's completely unselfish. I've never had that kid one time ask me how many points I had after a game. I've never had her ask me a question about more shots. or anything like that. She's just that kid that's 2 points, we win, she's great. 30 points, we win, she's great. 50 points, we lose, she doesn't like it. So as far as the kids taking her back, they were as excited as I was. They absolutely love having her around. And, anytime you play with a player like her, she just makes the game easier for everybody else. And I think the kids know that. And it relieves a lot of pressure off of them, knowing that she's always got their back.
You got a good young group of kids, and we've seen that throughout the past. You're off to a 1-4 start. Not the best start, but as I just told Ryan a second ago, it's things you have to come together as a team. We talked last week with Coach Salyer of South Laurel, how he was talking about his team being young and how they have to bond together. You talk about your team as a whole right now, because you guys have played a pretty decent schedule early.
And early on, we kept coming out in polls, first, second. They were talking about, how good we were going to be early. And, as a coaching staff and talking with our AD, Bobby, who I respect tremendously, his opinion, we've always just had in the back of our mind, we think we will be a really good team at some point during this season. We didn't expect to be that team early on. We've got kids that don't have varsity experience. Now, they can play. They're good athletes. They know the game, and it's going to come together for them. But at the same time, they're making those mistakes of a player that doesn't have that experience, mistakes that my kids last year didn't make. So as we go through the process, go through the year, we're learning how to play together. Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, now what's my role on the team? How do I coexist with Lexi, with, Carly, Addison Terry, a great young player, as an 8th grader. We've just got kids that are learning how to play with each other. And then, anytime you're going to have growing pains, we're still a young team, even we have Lexi, but, Carly's a sophomore with a lot of experience. Addison's still an 8th grader. We're starting another sophomore. We have another sophomore in the starting lineup. Relatively speaking, we're still a young team, but, the big things, we're just learning how to play together and taking it a game at a time. And, we played a really good team last night, a really good West Carter team. And, we learned a lot about who we are, saw things I like, saw things every night. We're taking notes. This is what we need to work on this week. What can we do to get to the next level? And we're enjoying it. Kids are enjoying it. They got a great attitude. Think we're headed in the right direction. It's just, we've got off to a little bit of a rocky start.
CJ, if I may just interject here just 1 second. Coach Smith, I'll see you on the 21st when you all come up to Wattsburg and take on the Lady Cougars there in Letcher Central. Looking forward to talking with you and interviewing you. Just a couple of things I wanted to say. First and foremost, congratulations on your 14th All-A Regional Championship from earlier this year and your Elite 8 appearance. I know that's something that you and that team will always remember. One question I wanted to ask you about just this season. How are you feeling it right now with the loss of Kinsey Harold? Because I know that's had to be a huge impact on the team.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's impacted us more on the defensive side of the ball than offensive. And with that being said, we'll get to offensive, second. Kinsey drew the assignment every night of guarding the other team's best guard. She always had the team's point guard. She was on the forefront of our press, which, was very effective for us last year. She's a tough kid that, would take a charge or get a rebound that she shouldn't get. Just things, intangibles that you can't replace, we lost with her. And then, she's run our offense for the past 3 years. We have point guards, Carly, obviously, she grew up as a point guard, and she moved to the shooting guard role, at the varsity level, playing with Kinsey. And Lexi was our point guard until Kinsey transferred over as a sophomore. We have that, not concerned about the ball handling, not concerned about the point guard role, but, it also is an adjustment that the kids are playing a new position. Teams press us. It's, it's changed a little bit. Normally we just get it to Kinsey and kind of run away from her, and she would bring it. And Carly and Lexi have that ability, but they're still adjusting to the new roles that we have.
Anything else, Anthony?
Well, I was just going to say you have a good AD, Bobby Bowen, over there. I worked with him for many years in the Hazard City schools, and so Bobby's a good friend of mine, and I know he tries to. He's got a lot of energy and everything, and likes to be a joker most of the time if he can be.
Yeah, Bobby's just a great guy, and great resource for me to have around. Knowledgeable, about the game. I go to him all the time. We talk basketball pretty much every day. I love to bounce ideas off of him and hear what his opinion is. And, I've learned a lot from him. He helped us on the coaching staff last year, and I learned a great deal from him. Just being around him, being in the gym, being how he goes about things, and he's coached under a lot of the great coaches across the state. So he's just a wealth of knowledge, that I'm tickled to death to have around and be able to tap into when I need it.
Yeah, me and him have done a couple of games on radio before, football and basketball. Go ahead there, CJ.
No, I was just going to say we need to continue to pray for him too. He is going through a little health issue right now. We had him on the show 2 weeks ago. Bobby's a great guy, and I told him, I said, anytime we can get you a prayer, we're going to throw it out there to you because you're a good man, and Owsley County needs good people. And Owsley County has a lot of good people. I think they get a bad rap. I think they get, I always talk about the 5th, 6th district teams more because I think that they're left out of a lot of things when there's good basketball in the 56th district, boys and girls. And I always say that. I always take up for the 56 because I don't think they get enough respect. I think that there's some great basketballers, great coaches, and great people. And but Bobby's one of the tops, and we always remember him in your prayers.
Yeah, I just believe Bobby's going to be fine. He's just got a wonderful attitude about everything, and he has all the fight in the world in him. So we're just all believing he's going to be perfectly fine. And like you said, we're sending prayers his way every time we get the opportunity. So,
Coach, you get ready to spend your next couple of weeks. You got some big games. You got a game with Lee County. You got a district game with Estill. You may play Hazard. You may not, depending on COVID. They've not played over 2.5 weeks. Then, of course, Anthony mentioned the game at Letcher Central on the 21st. Talk about the Letcher Central game before you go to Florida, because I feel like that is your sort of your preseason test to find out where you're at regional wise. Is that correct, or would I be wrong on that?
No, I think it is. I think that's anytime you play Letcher and Knott and Leslie, those top tier teams, I think it's a measuring stick for where you are. So we'll definitely, when we prepare for that game, and then obviously after, I think we'll have a pretty good idea of where our standing is in the 14th region. Letcher's always a tough place to play. Keith's team will be well prepared and got some talented kids up there. I always play hard, physical on the defensive side of the ball. They rebound the ball well. Played South Laurel really well, a couple weeks ago. A South Laurel team that's, I think one of the top 2, maybe 3 teams, if not the best team in the 13th region. So that'll definitely be we'll see if we pass the eye test when we face Letcher, right before the Daytona trip.
And the Daytona trip will be a good bonding opportunity for you and your girls and your staff. Chance to go down there and enjoy yourselves, get on the beach and play some basketball.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are always some good teams down there. And more than anything else, it is a time for the kids to come together and get closer and just get a little more of that family atmosphere going around them. And we've always tried to do something, around the holidays, whether it be Gatlinburg or whatever. And thought this year we were actually scheduled to go to Daytona last year, which would have been with my senior group getting to go, and we were going to go every 4 years, which is pretty typical for Owsley County, and it got pushed to this year. So, still looking to go down there and bond as a group, get some wins, and just keep improving. I think that's our motto for the years, just keep building. I keep telling my girls, you don't win or lose the region in December, but as long as you're building toward the ultimate prize, you will be fine.
Well, of course, after you come back from Daytona, then you got on January 3rd, you got Wolf County in the opening round of the All-A, and then if you pass that test, you got the Patriots coming to your place for a quarterfinal game that everybody in the region is going to be watching, because when you two get together, it's usually a slobber knocker, and I expect that one to be no different.
Yeah, we're
but Wolf County's not a bad basketball team.
That's what I was getting ready to say. We're definitely not overlooking Wolf County, especially with the transfer news that I'm hearing this week. They obviously they're going to get a little better this week if what I'm hearing is correct. So we're definitely not looking past them. Coach Brown, is one of the better coaches in the 14th region. He always has his team prepared, and he'll have a game plan, that you'll have to deal with. So we're definitely not looking past Wolf. But like you said, every time we get together, we enjoy playing Knott County. We enjoy playing Letcher County. We enjoy playing Leslie, all these top tier teams, Powell, Estill, that's just the games you want to get involved in. That's the reason you coach, is to play in those games. And we've had some classics with Knott County in the past 2 to 3 years, and we've come out on top some. They've come out on top some, and we'll hopefully have another good battle if we're lucky enough to make it there, and we'll just throw it up and see what happens.
Well, we'll be watching you down the road, Coach. We'll be keeping an eye on you guys. There couldn't be no better leader leading the Lady Owls than you, Travis. And I want to wish you guys the best of luck. I know anytime I need you, you'll come on the show. You can be here. And, I appreciate that very much.
I certainly appreciate it. Anytime we can get on the air and talk about our kids and talk about our program and the things that we've got going on, that's good. It's always a privilege. And, we appreciate you taking the time to do it and put all this together and just promote our kids. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Smith. Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry, CJ. Coach Smith, have a great final week of school, because I know the 17th is the last day of the semester. And again, good fortunes to your team this season. Look forward to seeing you on the 21st up here in Whitesburg.
I appreciate it, and we'll look forward to that game, definitely.
Well, Travis, good luck to you guys. Happy holidays from all of us here at the show, and good luck to you guys down the road.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Travis. Travis Smith, head basketball coach of the Owsley County Lady Owls. Always glad to have him on the show. Anytime we can get him, Anthony, he's a great person. They got the right. Travis has been there since I think his 5th year. He keeps getting that team going. Eventually, they're gonna get there. I think that they could win this region if they keep going.
Yeah, and then always such a humble person with a great attitude, and always a pleasure to talk to. I remember when I was over at 107.1 FM, the Killer Bee, over there in Knott County, there was a few times where even Owsley County beat them back then, and I know Coach Honeycutt over there in Knott County has a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Smith, and Coach Honeycutt will tell you, he doesn't take any team in the region lightly, but especially Owsley County, he doesn't take them lightly, because it's just been some classic battles. I know last year, Knott got the best of them in the YMT. Owsley gets them in the finals of the All-A. And then, of course, in the region, Knott gets them there because I just think Mullins and I think Mason and Gayhart all went off in that game. That was a high-scoring game, too. 90-79, I think, was the final score. So, but anyway, yeah, man. I mean, Coach Smith, always a pleasure to talk to.
Mark Crawford saying he loves the show. And Josh Maxey made a comment, Crawford, are you all here? He wouldn't know if Mark was on, because Mark's usually he watches all the time, and Josh was making sure that he was watching. So I like that when everybody's checking in. It's like a checklist. Everybody's checking in, Supposed to have Eddie Browning here in just a few minutes. Then, of course, at 9 o'clock, Coach Valentine and junior guard Reed Shepard going to be with us. Then at 9:30, I don't know. I might shed a tear at 9:30. I don't know. I'm trying not to. Camille's going to be with us for her final time as a guest. I'm hoping, though, she'll find some time for me as a co-host down the road and come back for that. So Willie did that, and Willie had a really good show when Willie did that. Let's get
Brian Milam's been on your show before, too, as well, CJ.
Yes, Brian Milam. I love when Brian's on here because I especially like to have Brian on here if I can get Coach Davis on here. Because them two really can get a good conversation going and tense. I love it because I think they were former roommates at Morehead State University, if I'm not mistaken. And Brian hears this, he'll always correct me. But I love them guys, and they're just good. They're good people as well. Let's talk a little bit. We talked about the YMT. Let's talk about Kentucky football just 1 second.
Excellent. That's actually what I was going to say. Can we talk about next, CJ? Because I have enjoyed this season fully.
Right year, 9-3 record. Probably should have been 11-1-2. I think. Yeah. I think if they would, the Georgia loss, the Mississippi State loss was just one of those after the bye when they had their head down, and then the Tennessee game. I think if they just start off just a little bit better, that your Citrus Bowl on New Year's Day against the Iowa team. That's and I keep cautioning people. Iowa's a much better football team than what you saw play in the Big Ten championship against Michigan. But give me your thoughts about Kentucky, Iowa, and the Citrus Bowl.
Well, first and foremost, you got to look at this too, CJ. That's now in 3 seasons or 4 seasons, 2 trips to the Citrus Bowl. You and I in our lifetime, I mean, we're seeing Kentucky with potential now in 4 years to get 10 wins. I'm a season ticket holder for home games. So I got to meet a lot of the players this year. Paschal, I got to have prayer with Marquand McCall. That was awesome because of his faith, and just getting to talk to him, that was amazing. And Mark Stoops, and I don't want him to go anywhere. And Kentucky fans, don't misinterpret me because I'm not saying that I think he should go. I want him to stay as long as he will. But what we've learned, I think, about Stoops is here's what I think happened. Losing Marquand McCall in that Florida game hurt. Then we got Oxendine, and Oxendine got hurt. I want to say maybe in the LSU, it was the LSU game he got hurt. So we were banged up going into Georgia. And CJ, I'll say this, I wasn't surprised. Maybe the score surprised me a little bit with Alabama beating Georgia, but I wasn't surprised. To Mark Stoops and Kentucky's credit, they held Georgia to no points in the first quarter. It was 14-7 at halftime. So Kentucky for a half, and some of the third quarter was really right there with Georgia. They really were. And I think Coach Saban watched some of that game and some other games and stuff and learned what to do, and he's just got their number, just period. But I think Stoops threw everything out at that Georgia game just to see what they could do. They were so banged up when they got to the bye week in Mississippi State that they just had one of those games where even though they were up 10-0, Stoops made Coach Leach there at Mississippi State made the adjustments that he needed to do, and that quarterback got better, but really I feel like Tennessee was the game that we really laid the egg. I've never seen us beat Tennessee in person, and I wanted that so bad this year because I was there in 19. I can't stand I was telling Coach Junior Matthews on our coaches show, I just hate losing to Tennessee, and he does as well too. But without Marquand McCall, without Oxendine, and just some of the other players, our defense really hurt, and it didn't reflect what was in the LSU and Florida games. But I think we got a good chance against Iowa. I really do.
Yeah, but I will caution again. Iowa's a much better football team than what they played in the Big Ten championship. So I'm just cautioning people. With us now, the athletic director for Hazard High School. He's been around for a long time, former professional wrestler. I'll say former, but, we never know with Mr. Eddie Browning because you never know what he's going to do. with us, Mr. Eddie Browning from Hazard. Ed, it's great to have you with us.
Hey guys, I sure appreciate you having me with you. Like you're saying, I've dipped my toes into just about everything going. So, I don't know if that's smart of me, but I think I can lend a little bit to just about everything.
Yeah, you're an icon in the mountains. You've been around a long. You've been around the region. I mean, especially in the 54th district. You started your career at Buckhorn, right?
Yeah, I started in 1995. Started coaching over there at Buckhorn. I was there for about 7 years.
Then you went on I don't think it was Prairie Central then. Was it MC Napier? Then
no, I went to Owsley College and coached for 2 years.
All right.
And then I went to Perry.
Okay. Then now you're at Hazard.
Yes.
They love you at Hazard. I hear nothing but great comments from everybody. The people
now, Hazard,
there.
I can't say enough. I can't say enough good about Hazard. I've enjoyed it tremendously since I've been there, and everybody is so supportive there. And I mean, you just can't ask for any better than what I've got it right now.
I don't know about your football coach sometimes though.
Well, I kind of got to keep a good close eye on him. I threaten him with you a lot.
Well, don't do that because now I know why my shoulder and heart would hurt so bad. Yeah, he seems to pop up at sudden points during the day or something. I called him yesterday. I was at the WYMT. I called him and he's taking a nap in the middle of the day. I said, "Get productive." No, but Carly was taking a nap and he was just taking a nap. So, that's what dads do. Dads take care of them. That's exactly right. He's over there and we watched the Bulldogs play. They played Lexington County. They're off to a 2-1 start. Got a good couple nice wins. Then he went on the road. Didn't play very well at Whitley County. Had a lot of things, turnovers. They met a Whitley County team that just changed coaches. I think the kids might have fed off of that because they had a new voice, and I think it was not as loud as maybe the other coach was, and they just played at a different level.
Yeah, like you say, Whitley, they did seem to play with a little bit more fire that night. I actually reffed one of their games earlier in the year, and watching them, the game that I reffed for them, and then the game that they played us, it seemed like two different teams. And I'm sure it was, having a new coach, having new blood, it always makes you play a little bit harder. And like you say, we had some turnovers, didn't really play really well. We're adjusting to life with a new point guard. Everybody knows that Wade was here forever, and we're learning to play with different personnel, and it just takes a little while. And then when you got Al Holland, he's a good 10, 12 points worth, right?
Yeah, he's definitely that. You've been at Hazard. This is your third year, I think, Ed. What are you wanting to do as far as athletics and academics there to put Hazard on top? Because I know they've been on top. They want to stay on top. But I think what's some of your goals to make Hazard better?
In the past year or so, we've not had a whole lot of middle school development and elementary development. I'd like to really get that going a little bit stronger. And it's nobody's fault. Just COVID popped up, and we've lacked some development down there, and everybody needs to work on that. Which I'd really like to do that, and I'd also like to really work on our facilities. We're really talking about a practice facility that would serve football, soccer, baseball, wrestling. It could serve almost every sport that we have. And we've got a beautiful place up there to build one. It's just like everything else, coming up with the funds to do it. But we're hoping that we can raise that kind of money and build us another top-notch facility. We would like to renovate Memorial Gym, do some work on it, very historical place, Just need to put some money back into it and, refurbish it a little bit. But, that's the two prominent things that I want to work on as athletic director.
You're doing a really good job there, and I'm proud of you. I think you stepped right in there and done a good job. Anthony, you got questions for Ed?
Well, thank you for taking good care of me there at the 14th Region volleyball tournament there up at the high school. My favorite Eddie Browning moment has to be, you're going to remember this very well, Eddie, the 2016 Thanksgiving turmoil with AMW when you gave Bo James all he could handle in the tar and feather match.
Me and Bo's had some battles throughout the year. That was sure a dandy.
Yeah, man. Good times. What your thoughts maybe a little bit on Perry Central winning the YMT, or just your thoughts in general on that tournament in the early basketball season?
Well, Perry's always going to have a special place in my heart. And I really get along with Shannon very well. Me and Shannon are really good friends, so I'm tickled to death with him. One of my better friends has a son that plays on that team. I'm very happy for them. Shannon does a great job, and Shannon can take anything and make something good out of it. Not saying that's what he's doing now, because he's got some good players down there. But you put Shannon in the right position with some good players now. He's gonna win some games, and I think he opened some eyes over there this week.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the one thing that Anthony didn't ask you is that Corey's now on his staff, and they're related. So I thought picking up Corey was a huge asset for Shannon, because I thought I think it brings a different quantity. I think Corey's one of my favorite people, and I think Corey is a really great coach. I think he still could be a head coach again somewhere someday. But perhaps for Shannon, getting him to be on the staff, that's a big pickup. And I thought it came dividends last night watching Prairie Central play, because Corey made a lot of key decisions to tell Shannon, and I think it worked in their favor really well. So that was great.
A lot of people don't realize that Corey's still really young. He got into coaching very, very young, and he's got a lot of good years ahead of him. And I know Shannon's tickled to death to have him there on the bench with him. Not only does he have his family there, but he's got a good mind on the bench with him. Him and Coach Combs, and he's just got a good staff over there. And putting Corey in there, that does nothing but make it better.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me too, Ed. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the passing of Lou.
Yes.
And I thought Prairie Central winning the WYMT Mountain Classic was an honor in his behalf. Nobody thought about that last night, but I thought about that earlier this evening as I'm sitting here. It went through my memory on my phone. On Facebook, you have the memory thing. And I thought that was the perfect way to for him, celebrate Lou after his 1-year passing.
Yes, that family has been through so much. I really got close with him when I was principal at Chavy's. Louis was coach for me down there. Corey and the two boys went to school down there, and like I said, that they have had such a bad time, and for something positive to happen on an anniversary like that was really special.
Yeah, I got a couple wrestling questions, but I'm going to use them after I let you talk about something that you're passionate about. Just happened, the bad tornadoes that hit in Bowling Green, in the western part of the state. I understand that you wanted to say something, so go ahead, Ed. The floor is yours.
Yes, through wrestling and through sports, I've really gotten close with some people out in Western Kentucky. I've been on the phone, messaging, calling, trying to get a hold of most of my buddies out there, trying to make sure that everything's okay. And luckily, almost everyone that I got in touch with said that the tornadoes just missed them. So, that's great. But I actually do have 2 friends that lost family members in the tornadoes. And like you said, I am passionate about that. I think we need to come together as as a community and try to help those people out. So what we're doing at Hazard, or we're taking donations of what they're asking for is water, diapers, baby wipes, and baby formula right now. They don't really have any room to store anything else, but they really need that right now. And we're trying to get that together for them. And if anybody out there can donate, you can bring it to Hazard High School, and we'd be glad to pack it up and take it on out to Western Kentucky for those folks that are suffering right now.
I know Leslie County is going to do the same thing. They've already decided they're going to get wipes and water and all kinds of items that they need out there. So that just hand in hand that you guys are willing to help people out there, because they'd be willing to help us if we were in the same boat.
Yes, that's something that Eastern Kentuckians do. We always help out each other. And, I think we're proving right now that it's not just an Eastern Kentucky thing. It's a human being thing. If anybody is in need, we're going to do what we can to help people out.
Yep. Me and a couple people was talking last night how, we love our mountains, because without our mountains, we could have been a part of that. We're protected by these trees and mountains, and I mean we're blessed. But the people in Bowling Green, they need your help now. They need your prayers. They need everything. So if you can give, please give. Go to Hazard High School. Leslie County High School is going to do it. I'm going to say that probably every school is going to do it. And
I'm pretty sure that every school in Perry County is doing it also. And, wherever you can take those items to, drop those things off, and let's get that stuff out there to them, to the people that can really use it.
Okay, just a couple wrestling questions. I'll let you go. You were one of the main stables that started AMW. Tell me how that got involved, because I never did really sit down and talk with him, but I did know the story. They've done a couple years on YMT about, but how'd that all come together, and how'd you guys? Because I know for a long time there, I would see posters of this professional wrestling going to be at the Chavez Elementary School. It didn't have a name. And then suddenly AMW arrived. So how did that all come together, and how did it all get going?
From the time that John Noble and I started, we'd always kind of talked about running our own promotion. And then once we had trained Kyle and brought him on with us, Kyle Maggard, he always joined in with us, on those talks. And we've just kind of kicked the idea around forever, really. And, with what John does and the things that I've done, we really didn't have time to sink a lot of assets and a lot of time into something like that. So, Kyle just decided he was going to do it, and we would give him advice, or we would help him however we could. But, it's pretty much on Kyle. Kyle's the one that really got it kicked off and going. He was the one that invested all of his money and really stuck his neck out there. And, he's done a wonderful job. He's worked hard at it. I'm proud of what he's done. But yeah, it's just something that we've kicked around ever since 1995, driving home late at night from Bowling Green at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They say when you ride as wrestlers, you book the talent. You booked the show. So, we would talk about how we would do things. We'd talk about the matches we would set up, the different wrestlers that we would use and things like that. So, it's just something that we'd always talked about. And Kyle just put his best foot forward, and has done a really good job with that company.
It's light years running in the right direction. Kyle, everybody at behind the scenes there at AMW, I've been helping them. I've been doing some ring announcing for them, and I love it. I love doing that. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten to meet a lot of people, and I got to meet a lot of friends. And I hope it goes forever, because it's just Kyle. They all do a great job, and I'm so tickled deaf for everybody there. Hopefully, it's continuing to be a great thing for years and years to come. And I'd like to see you get one more match. One more match.
Yeah,
More
I'm gonna
match.
have to come back and maybe I can take on Kyle sometime down the road and see.
Yeah, let
see
me
what
say
I can
your
do.
name. I've never said Eddie Browning coming to the ring. I would love to say that one time. But
Hey, Eddie, just a quick question and comment. First, I'll do the comment. Pay attention to Taz's son, Hook. I watched his debut the other night on YouTube. That guy's got some major talent in the pipes coming up. I think he's going to be one of the next big stars with the future of pro wrestling. But I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. I'm sure they have. But what's your favorite sport to ref?
Probably baseball, just because I'd played it for so long. I played college baseball over at Owsley College, and I always kind of gravitated toward baseball. I started baseball officiating first. I've been in that for 15 years and basketball for 13 years. So I would have to say baseball, but football's pretty close too. There's nothing in this world like a Friday night. I mean,
love Friday night.
The amount of adrenaline that I felt the first time I stepped on the football field to officiate was unreal. I told people all the time, that's the feeling that you want all the time right there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, Ed, this has been an absolute honor to have you on the show. I'm tickled to death you took the opportunity to come on. Would you like to come back again? I would love to have you back again because there's a lot more
guys,
stuff I'd like to talk to you about.
I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
So, I think again, if you're in the Hazard area, any of the schools in the Hazard area, they need wipes, they need water, they need Pampers, they need what else, Ed?
Baby wipes, diapers, water, baby formula, things like that. They don't have a lot of room to store a lot of stuff, so it's going to be something that we can take down there, drop off, and they take it right then and use it. I mean, it's nothing, no building material, nothing like that. But consumables, they're really in need of things like that.
You can bring these items to Hazard High School.
Yes,
I would say you can take these items also to any Hazard school system, any Hazard school place in the county.
You can take it by the Board of Education, by either of the elementary or the middle school or the high school, and we'll make sure that we get it and we get it where it needs to be going. And
then Leslie County is also doing the same thing. You guys, the same item. Take them by the high school, probably take them by the Board of Education. They're in the same building, or you can take them by any school. Eddie, this has been absolutely awesome. It's been a great interview with you. I know you'll come back. Thank you for your time. And keep the good work up there in Hazard, and we'll see you down the road. Guys, I appreciate it. And, I just want to say, thank you guys for doing the job that you all do for these kids around here. A lot of you media people, you just don't get the recognition that you deserve, because you guys get out there. I mean, you're out late every night. You're going and you're covering games. And CJ, if you're not working a game or something, I know you're always watching a game or something. Yep. You're always doing what you can to promote these kids, both you and Anthony, both. You guys do a great job, and please know that it doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, we really appreciate you guys.
It's very kind of you to say.
Yeah, we appreciate
thanks.
You guys too. We appreciate everybody in the mountains. There's a lot of great people out there, and you guys understand it. It's about these kids, and we're here to promote them from the time we go to bed to the time we wake up. So it's just an honor to do it. But Ed, thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you down the road, and good luck to everything on Hazard. Okay, guys. Thanks. Have a good night. Thanks, Eddie. Yeah. Mr. Eddie Browning, Athletic Director at Hazard High School. That was awesome. That was cool. That was great. But again, I want to remind everybody, not just at the local schools. He mentioned Hazard. He mentioned Leslie County. There is other places too that are taking up donations. Now they're also taking up money donations for some places. I also did not get to hear today. I know President Biden made a declaration of emergency things that will help out there. And something I think today, the Governor Bashir gave some money to them to help start rebuilding, start getting stuff back in order. So, but anything you can give, take it to your local place that's doing this. I know everybody's going to chip in and do this, because that's how the mountain people are. We work together and help each other. So, please.
Yeah, CJ, and this can, like you said, thoughts and prayers. Just Western Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee, parts of those places were hit. And this really, in ways, and maybe even with you too, when I saw that Mayfield was hit and just completely wiped out like it was, well, it broke my heart. But you got to remember, just 11 years ago, or 10 years ago, and 10 days ago, Hazard beat Mayfield to win the 2011 state championship. And then Mayfield beat him the year before in 2010. So I got to know a lot of people from Mayfield at that time. And I met Coach Morris that coaches Mayfield back at one of the All-A state tournaments when I was over at the Killer Bee and Knott County made that run. And I'd go down there, and just all those fans are really, really nice, know their radio broadcaster down there. And it's just a hard time, especially with it being so close to the holidays as well, too. So our thoughts and prayers. And anyway, like CJ and Eddie said, that you can help, myself as well, just with that people need help, and we rally around in the mountains to help people, and that's a lot of our character and part of who we are, CJ.
Yeah, we are. Your microphone has been popped out there, I think.
Okay, how's that?
No, it's still like rattling. It's like you're not like, you don't sound like you did.
Oh, what about now?
Oh, there you did. Yeah, there you are.
Okay. I think I had my finger there on the bottom there, so sorry. My arms get tired on my phone. It's all good. Now, if you would have started talking about wrestling with Eddie, me and him would have been on here, but you mentioned it. But I had to talk about Taz's son. I watched, if you can look it up, CJ, AEW Rampage. He goes out there.
Yeah, well,
5 minutes. That guy's going to be the future, man. I'm telling you, he's already got the look, and even Dutch Mantel was bragging about him. And if Dirty Dutch is bragging about you, then that means you're going somewhere.
yeah. Oh, definitely. He's one of the most well-known professional wrestlers of all time. He was Smoky Mountain Wrestling's lead commentary with Bob Caudle. And
yes,
I love Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Did you know Bob is still alive? He's in his 90s.
Yes, I did.
Or late 80s, something like that.
Wow,
yeah.
It's still going strong.
Yeah. Did you go to any of those shows at Hyden when Jim Cornette ran SMW?
I did. And I do remember the story he told about the Dairy Queen. That is a true story. I mean, it's as true as it can be.
Have you seen the video of it on YouTube? Because that language is pretty foul. I've only watched it once.
I have watched it once, twice. Jim Cornette tells. Let me tell you what. Like him or not, Jim Cornette's a great storyteller.
Yes.
Because he's been around, he's seen it all, he's lived it all, and trust me, he can definitely get the story out there to you. It's ain't no doubt about that. So,
hey, what's up, Coach?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Anthony Bursalia?
Is head basketball coach of the Laurel Jaguars. And also, I think he has with him, too, star junior guard Reed Shepard, Coach Nate Valentine of the Jaguars. Coach, it's great to have you with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Reed should be in here shortly. We're separate, but he should be here.
That's fine. That's perfect. Let's talk about your Jags a little bit here. You're off to a 3-1 start. Guys have been playing. You just got done having what annual Nissan Classic was that you guys just finished?
That was 12, year 12 for us.
Year 12, and still going strong.
Yeah, we've kind of changed it a little bit. We used to have a lot of prep schools in it, and we've made it more about the high school teams now and trying to get really good, talent here in Kentucky in the state. And we had a really good field this year with some really good teams, really good players, and had great crowds. It was a good event.
You played Greenwood. What kind of team do they have?
They had too good for us to play in our first game. I can tell you that. They were good. They got I think they have 7 or 8 seniors, and they came in and played really well and shot it well. We didn't defend very well, but I think it was a great lesson for us early. A great game to play a top 20 opponent. I think they're picked to win the 4th region, so it was a good game for us and a great learning experience, and that's what December is all about.
I want everybody to know we're being joined now by junior guard Reed Shepard of the Laurel Jaguars. Reed, this is an absolute honor to have you on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, tickled to death. Tickled to death. We're going to get to you in just a moment. I got several questions for Coach Valentine. Coach, after 3-1 start, you got a very nice win Friday night. Corbin's been top 5 all year in the region, preseason region. You get them 81-50. Talk about that game a little bit because you guys played extremely well.
Yeah, we had a really good week in practice coming off that Greenwood game. We came back and played Barron County and played really well. And, like I said, December's all about kind of figuring out who you are and how to play. And, I felt really good leading up to that. But Corbin's a really good team. They've always been a team that's going to be better as the season goes along because they have such a successful football program. And, Coach Petrowski does a great job. So they'll continue to improve and be a threat at tournament time. They always are. But, we played well. We shot the ball extremely well. That always helps when you make 14 threes. Ryan Davidson turned in 21 points and 20 rebounds, and that's something that,
wow.
We call him Oscar in practice because he has the ability to do that, and, he's added about 20 pounds of muscle here in the off season. And, we just played really well. We defended well. And that's something that we didn't do in the Greenwood game.
I guess you told your team that, coming up, you had Corbin Friday, you got tomorrow night, you got the crosstown rival at home. You had to be weary of a letdown because knowing they're looking ahead to wanting to play South Laurel, who's off to a super start, I think maybe 5-0 or 4-0. Really playing well. I think they just got done coming from the Toyota Classic where they really done some good work. So you had to make sure your team was not looking ahead, and you guys surely did that.
Yeah, I think with the Greenwood loss, I don't think looking ahead came in our minds at all. We're pretty focused. These guys have all been through several battles now, and last year we had a great year and started off 19-0, and in Sports Illustrated, and Reed being recruited by Kentucky. I mean, we've received. We don't put out a lot of hype. We get all the hype we need without promoting anything. But we've kind of been through it now with these guys, and they're very experienced. So, like I said, they just play. They focus on one game at a time and keep getting better. And the Corbin game is just as big as the South Laurel game, and when we go to King of the Bluegrass next week, that's the next most important game. So we don't really focus too much on it. We just try to take care of our own house.
This question's for Reed. Reed, I know that you got recruiting out of the way. Now you can focus on the one thing that you're really good at, basketball. You're a phenomenal player. I hope I don't put the jinx on you, but I think you have a chance to be Mr. Basketball. That's how good you are. But people don't realize that you're the most unselfish player probably around. You would rather give 8-10 assists and see the team win than to score 20. And you're that. And on defense, your defense has improved so much. Talk about your game because I've been impressed with your defense.
Well, Coach Valentine probably has a lot. He does have a lot to do with the defensive part. That's what he was on me the most this summer and this preseason was just sitting down and standing in front of the ball and not gambling and just doing what I need to do on the defensive end. And then once you do what you need to do on the defensive end, it'll start flowing in the offense on the offensive side. So just staying in front of the man is what he was big on this summer, and this preseason is he wasn't worried about any of my shots falling or anything. He was just big on the defensive part with me taking that part of my game to the next level.
Yeah, I love watching you play. You're just a smooth player. You do so much, but you rebound well too. People don't realize that. You do so much for your team, but your teammates are important to you too because you value them so much, don't you?
Yeah, I mean those are my best friends. We've grown up playing together since we were little kids. We've played in elementary school, middle school, travel ball, and now in high school. So we've all been playing together for. Some of us has been playing for like 7 or 8 years or longer. And, we're not just teammates or brothers. After practice, we'll go outside and we'll go eat and we'll hang out outside of practice. It's not just we practice together, never text each other, never see each other. No, we practice, we go eat, we stay on the phone with each other, text each other. We're always communicating, and they're my friends. They're some of my favorite people in the world. Wouldn't trade them for anything else.
Well, you guys, I know Anthony's got some questions for you too, but I got one more question for Coach, and I'm gonna let Anthony ask some questions. Coach, I noticed you're playing in the King of the Bluegrass. Belfry's head coach was on here a couple weeks ago. They're playing also in the King of the Bluegrass. I always say if you play in the King of the Bluegrass or the traditional Bank Holiday Classic in Lexington, then I know you're an elite team. I already know you're an elite team anyway. But to get to play in these two tournaments that people value so much throughout the state of Kentucky, talk about that a little bit, because your team has to be tickled to death to get to play in front of what are two of the bigger tournaments that we can have in the state.
Yeah, we were scheduled to play in both of those last year, and unfortunately, weren't able to do it due to COVID. So really excited about that. And, I've been fortunate enough to take two teams in the past and had really good teams, and we went 1-2 both years, and the King of the Bluegrass is a tournament where you can take a really good team and you can come home 0-3, because there are no easy outs there, and you got to play well, and it's such a fun environment, and just wanted our guys to be a part of it. Like I said, it is what it is. It's the King of the Bluegrass. It's the best tournament in the state of Kentucky, and there's a ton of other teams out there that would love the opportunity just to play in it, and for us to be invited again, they just do such a great job there, and like I said, good crowd, good environment. I hope that all the COVID restrictions are still good, and we'll be able to have a packed house, but. You lose that first game and then you get stuck in the back gym there. I don't know if you've ever been, but they've got two gyms.
Yeah,
and you get stuck in that back gym and you got to fight your way out to get back to the main gym on the last day, and it's just your team can grow a lot. And, if you look back at it, there's so many teams that either go to the Sweet 16 or they win the Sweet 16. There was a long string there where there wasn't a state champion that hadn't played in the King of the Bluegrass several years. There was a long string of years together. So, when I heard that stat, that was one of those things that I wanted to make sure that anytime I had a team that was good enough to go, I wanted to take them. And I feel like this team can certainly compete. And, it's so cool. They put the winning jersey, whoever wins, they paint that jersey with the team colors and they hang it on the wall and it stays up forever, and it's just a lot of pageantry to it and just, excited to play in it. And then the Lexington Catholic Tournament is another one that I remember growing up. I mean, anybody that was anybody played in the Lexington Catholic Tournament, and they, again, have great crowds. And so we're going to play in the best tournaments we can around here this year. And, I just think it gives you a big boost at the end of, you come out of the King of the Bluegrass and it just seems like your team start playing really well after that, no matter if you win or lose. So we're really looking forward to that next week.
Okay, Anthony, you got questions for both these great teams?
Yeah, Coach Valentine first. And Coach, highly doubt you remember me, but I met you on Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. I was working the North-South game for WYMT, and you treated me very nice that night. So I thank you for the hospitality, and you let me know who the starters were. If this was 50 years ago, you'd probably be playing in the LIT, the Louisville Invitational Tournament, if you want to go back that far. But just one question for you this season. I know a lot of the attention is going to be on Reed, but I just got to ask this. It's been hearing you talking. How crucial is Clay Sizemore, your senior guard, and your junior guard, Brody Brock, for the success of this team this season?
Very crucial. Everybody knows about Reed and Ryan. But, Clay, Brody, and I'll throw one more, Chase Dotson, into that list from a guard standpoint. We face so many different defenses, and that's what, people always ask, think they'll play triangle and two, box and one, yes, they will. They're going to do everything. Covcath put two guys on Reed last year, and I think he had 47 on him. So, you see a lot of different defenses, but like like CJ said, Reed's so unselfish. He doesn't care if he only has 10 points. He doesn't care, as long as we win. And last year he led the state in scoring at over 30 a game, and I don't think it was ever brought up. There was no banner. There was no presentation. Maybe I should have, but there was. It's just not important to him. Winning is, and that's what makes him such a good player. But those other guys, they keep getting better. They can certainly shoot it when they're open, but they're getting better at putting the ball on the floor. And like we watched video today just of the Corbin game and talked about that, how important it is for those guys to be able to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim and finish. And, they do a great job. And then I'll add one more guy, Caden Harris. Caden Harris is our 6'1" post player. But, you're not going to get to the basket without going through Caden Harris. He may get a block or a charge or, he may knock you down, but he's going to use all 5 fouls. And that's what makes these guys special. Reed's a great player, but it's not just Reed. We've got other guys around him that can play and that play hard and play with a lot of passion and energy, and I think people appreciate that.
Thank you, Coach. And Reed, first and foremost, congratulations on your commitment to the University of Kentucky. I actually got to broadcast some of your sister's games, Madison, when she played as well too. And so your parents have been doing radio and stuff. I've talked with them. They just get information from starters, and both of them are just for games. They're class act people. I know you probably get this question a lot, but because it's been so long, your daddy won a national championship with UK. But for you, you're your own identity. You're your own self. So do you feel any pressure maybe to live in your father's shadow, or has he just been more encouraging, just like, Reed, do your thing, do what you got to do, and play to who you are and do the best you can every day?
No, that is just do what you want. Ever since I was a little kid, they have not forced me to play basketball. They've told me that whatever sport I wanted to play, or if I didn't want to play a sport. Like growing up, I played every single sport. And it was just until like 6th grade that I started playing only basketball. And then that's when we started taking it a little more serious. But no, there's not much pressure just because of how both my parents have been towards me about it all. They're just like, go out and have fun and be yourself. Don't try to please anybody. They know who you are and what you do. So just go out and be yourself, and they like you for who you are and not for who. Don't try to be anybody else for anyone.
And Reed, one final question. This is kind of an off-the-wall question. What's your favorite social media app to use?
I like Twitter pretty good. There's just a lot of stuff on Twitter. You can find out a lot of stuff pretty quick, good and bad.
Good deal. Hey, thanks, Coach, and thanks, Reed. You all, many good fortunes to you this season.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to have to get Reed Shepard. He's going to send me a Twitter request, so I can be his friend. I like Twitter too. I think you do learn a whole lot there. Reed, let's talk a little bit about. He might have mentioned it, and I'm just going to go over something. Having already committed, that it took all the pressure off of you. Now you can now focus on the one thing is the North Laurel Jaguars, and last year when you guys lost in the finals, give me your take on how the team was and how you guys were going to be determined to get back there again and finish the deal this time.
Well, it was very, you could tell that everyone was very heartbroken. We all worked really hard that season, and that was, we were glad to be in that spot. But at the end of the day, we came back probably a week later and started doing open runs and lifting. And this summer, there wasn't a day that the whole team wasn't in the gym, either lifting or shooting or doing something. So the mindset has been totally different from this year's team because everyone has been to the region championship and got beat, and they've all felt how that feels, and nobody wants to feel that again. So the work ethic and attitude towards this season has been completely different than any year so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the season brings.
Last night I'm watching Knox Central play in the WYMT, and I'm thinking, Prairie Central's finding their weaknesses. And as you guys play throughout the year, you find teams' weaknesses. You guys have very few weaknesses, Coach. You and Reed both. if there's one thing the team would love to be better at, and you both can answer this, what is it?
Well, I think we got to be better defensively. That's the easy one. I mean, last year I think we averaged, like 90 some points a game. But we gave up 84, I think, in the region finals, and you just can't win regional championship game. Trying to outscore people, and we've got to get better. And a lot of that's on the coaches. We got to get more creative with our defense and keep people more off balance, and not be one dimensional. And that's. We just continue to do that. We're undersized, which makes it hard to guard. But I think we're getting better at that, and it's got to be important to us. And you got to want to do it and have an attitude about it. But defensively, is certainly an area that probably from now until the end of time, till my last game, defense will be the answer to that question.
Reed?
Yeah, I agree 100% with Coach on that one. The defensive part for sure. Last year, like he said, we scored 90 points a game. We just ended up we couldn't guard very well. So that's been his biggest thing, and and the assistant coaches as well. This preseason is just the defensive end. The first probably, I don't know how long, but we barely did any offense. It was all defensive practices and defensive drills, just stuff to get us better on ball and off the ball. Being able to steal the passes, read the offense, what they're going to do. So definitely the defensive part. And then also just everything else, just keep working on offense, keep being unselfish, keep being able to run the offense how we want to run it, and just keep on working the whole game and not just look at one thing, but definitely keep defense at the top.
Well, like Anthony and Coach both said, Reed, to have players like Reed Shepard and Davison and all those guys with you, there ain't nothing but great times going to happen at North Laurel High School. Clay Sizemore, both Sizemore brothers are two of my favorite players. I've told Tim this. Tim Sizemore, is a former Leslie County person, and I think Tim is assistant coach there for you guys. Tim's a great guy. He does a great job. To develop two sons that could shoot the basketball the way they could, that's some high quality teammates to play with. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would have loved to coach Adam Sizemore. That's the one thing that I would have loved to have him. And I think Tim will tell you too. He said you would have loved Adam. Adam's such a hard-nosed kid, and he'll come back from South Alabama when they have a break, and he'll work out with our guys, and he's just always energetic, and he's a tough kid, and he's kind of got that short man syndrome. He's not going to take any crap from anybody, and he's just, a tough kid and talks a lot. And he's, wants to be a coach. He's going to be a great coach one day just because he studies the game so well. And, Clay obviously shoots it well. But, Tim was a blessing to me to have him come alongside. And, my first year there, I kind of talked to him about helping out. And he wasn't quite ready to yet, but then after that first year, I was glad that he came over and was able to help. He just brings so much, and he had so much, success at Leslie, as and has some really good teams there, and just lucky to have him and just such a great family.
Oh,
hey, CJ, I got one more question for Coach, if that's fine.
Go ahead.
Coach, I got to ask you, and maybe Reed, if you want to answer, so both of you maybe saving question, I'll go with Coach. The 13th region, there's always something that happens when that tournament rolls around that makes it so special and crazy, and it's almost like it's unpredictable. What do you think makes the 13th region tournament like that every year, just about it?
I think it has great coaches. It has great coaches that have longevity, and they stay there. I came from the 11th region to where you would have turnover in even the 43rd district at, Tates Creek and some Dunbar, some of those places, you would see so much turnover. Frederick Douglass, same way. And you never had any consistency within a program. But here you've got, Mike Jones, that was a tremendous player, Coach Cal at Harlan, Tony Petrosky was an unbelievable player that I remember watching. Then you got Tony Patterson that, growing up watching him. I mean, you've got great guys that are great coaches that are well invested in the schools that they're at, and they've been there a long time, and they can play a number of ways. I mean, they got, more defenses probably than any other team that I've ever played, several of these guys, and they just do a really good job, and they believe in what they're doing, and their kids believe in them. And I think the coaching is just probably better in the 13th region than any other region out there, and I think that has a big impact on things.
You have a comment, Reed?
No, I agree with him. And the 13th region has really good talent in the players as well. So everybody comes out and everybody plays good when it gets to tournament time. So they all come out and, you lose, you go home. Nobody wants to go home. So everybody's fighting with everything they have and going to give it all each game, one game at a time. And then the coaches, like Coach said, they're all really good coaches and know exactly what they're doing and when they're going to do it.
I think the one thing they both did not tell you is that tournament is played at the Corbin Arena.
Yeah.
And to play inside the Corbin Arena is even more exciting because you get a crowd in there. Reed can tell you this. He's played in front of a sold-out, packed crowd. He knows when you get in the Corbin Arena, those juices start going and going. And the right, Coach? Am I wrong?
Right.
Coach? I mean, I've been there the last 4 or 5 years on press row, and I even I get chill bumps. It's nothing like playing in the arena. Would you both agree?
No, it's a very special place for sure.
It is, and the bigger floor, that college floor, that 10 feet makes a big difference going from a high school floor to a college floor, and it completely changes the game. You wouldn't think 10 feet would make that big a difference, but it does. And it, if you're not ready for it and you don't adjust to it, I think a lot of upsets can spring just from lack of experience on that as well.
Yep. I mean, when you walk in there, if you've never been to Corbin Arena, I've been there for concerts. I've been there for basketball, for a lot of stuff. I just love going in there. It's just a fun place.
They got really good popcorn too. Popcorn's really good.
And it is good, Coach. They got great hot dogs. They got the best chili you could ever eat. I love their chili. I get excited about that when I go there. It's just a lot of fun. I just want to say to both of you, thank you so much for coming back on again, Coach. I know you'll come back. Reed, would you come back again?
Yeah, I'll come back.
I would love to have you back again. I would. Yeah, especially after season's over. I like to just sit and chat with you and talk about what your future's ahead of you as you go get ready to be a Kentucky Wildcat in a couple years. You got a senior year to look forward to. And I know Coach Valentine will come back, but I want to wish nothing but the greatest success to both of you. Coach, continue the great work and your team. And Reed, you keep playing and you keep that head up, son. You're an unbelievable player, and you got a great coach beside you. You guys are going to do some special things.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having
CJ.
me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you guys very much, and we'll be watching you, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Nate Valentine of the North Laurel Jaguars, boys coach, and Reed Shepard also with us too there. Anthony, how was that, big guy? That was awesome.
It was.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Reed Shepard's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Calm, collected. Doesn't let
Keeps his composure.
You're interviewing him. It's like he knows what to say. He knows correct terms. It's just going to make him an unbelievable Wildcat in the future. But I think North Laurel is going to watch them out. I think if they can get the state, I think they can win a state championship.
Well, and you look at some teams, though, I know we talked about Corbin. You got South Laurel, Harlan County, and Harlan right there. You never know what Bell County's going to throw up. But, I know Clay and Williamsburg, Lincoln, some other teams. But anything can happen. But, those top four, South Laurel and through Corbin, North, and Knox, but still you never know what Harlan County would dial up. And you never – and ACAL. Yeah, and Harlan Independent. Yeah, because he's got 2 regional championships with the girls. He can do it with the boys. You never know.
Yeah, last night I saw the Coach Cal's team put on a clinic from behind the 3-point line in the third place game. They just shot breath at Plum out of it. They out-rebounded them on offensive glass. They outshot them on the 3-point line. And Coach Noble even mentioned that. He said that we just got to hustle. And Harlan's one team that I would not want to play going in 13th region tournament. I wouldn't want to play Harlan County either. But, we talk about this region for so long. It used to be Clay County, Clay County, Clay
Yeah.
County, Clay County. Now it's not that anymore. Look at Knox Central, three regional championships in a row. North Laurel's trying to get there. South's trying to get there. Corbin's trying to get there. We talked to Knox Central, watching them play last night. They're still in the running. They're never out. Nobody's out until the final game. You know, when I look at February 15th, I don't know where this game is going to be at, but the 13th Region Media Network Classic, Knox Central, North Laurel. We're going to see that game before the season ends. It's going to be a packed house. You know it is, because it's going to be a game that everybody is wanting to watch. So,
well, and CJ, you look at it too. Before South joined the 13th region, they won the state tournament in 2005. So, you know, in the 12th region, as representing the 12th region. So, you know, I think Laurel County would love to have another regional championship, another Sweet 16, if the Jags could somehow pull it off here in the next 2 years.
I was just looking at they play South tomorrow night. South has got tomorrow night's got North. Then they got to turn back around and play Harlan County the next night. I mean,
you going to go to that South game, CJ?
I'll be there because I already be there because Lexington girls are playing Harlan County in the first game at 6:00. So
okay,
yeah, I'm gonna hang around and watch that. I like to watch Coach Davis. I like to watch him coach. And Michael Jones, I'm getting to know him. I've not had him on the show yet. I'd love to get him on the show.
You know, Coach Jones Jr. won 2 All-A-State championships in '94 and '95 with Harlan Independent, don't you?
Yeah,
those are some good teams. They were really good.
They really Charles Thomas and
yeah,
that was some good talent there.
The 13th region, man, I'm telling you, CJ, it has. Sorry if I cut you off there. I wasn't meaning to. It has had a great history of just. You look at the girls, it's been great, but boys basketball too, man. I mean, it's tooth and nails. And as you said, Bobby Keith, we know that was there at Clay County for so many years. He was a big engine behind Clay County getting that going and everything. But like you said, all these other teams, and I think Coach Patterson and the Knox Panthers have just surprised a lot of people over the last 3 years with the way they've been able to win these championships.
You saw a team last night in Corbin who we're talking about girls basketball in the 13th. Corbin, I think, is a true competitor for the Challenge North, South. Another team that nobody's talking about in the 13th, Knox, KLX Central, the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're loaded. They've got the college girl just come off her ACL tear. Mm-hmm. She's coming back. She's our first 2 games already had doubles. So the Knox Central Lady Panthers are loaded. So, I mean, you got about 5 or 6 teams over there that's really good. And on the boys, you got 6, 7 teams that's really good. So it's just 13th region basketball as a whole. You know, they get all of the notice. I mean, you know, we was talking with Coach Pikeville's coach, girls coach. We was talking about how the 15th region sometimes gets left out because a lot of people don't pay attention to them. Well, there's good basketball in the 15th too. There's good basketball in the 14th, and there's good basketball in the 13th. There's even good basketball in the 12th region.
Yeah,
look at Southwestern and Pulaski County. So I mean, you gotta just keep your eye on what's going on. You know,
and I'll tell you this, CJ, another girl to watch. Watch these 3 athletes for the Corbin Lady Red Hounds. I saw them yesterday. Both of the Stewart girls, and watch Owsley. That girl can shoot the 3 ball. They're going to be Isaac Wilson's going to have them as I think a fine old machine if they could stay healthy by the time the region rolls around. You know, you're talking about Harlan County. I want to give you a little bit of trivia. I want to see if you know this, CJ. Before Harlan County became Harlan County, what was the only school in the county that won a boys regional championship, and what was the year?
Oh my! Well, I always thought Harlan Kaywood, wasn't it?
Nope, it was the Cumberland Redskins, led by Eddie Creek, in 2003.
Yeah, you would have either went Kaywood or you either would have went Cumberland. I mean, depending on which end of the county that you were looking at. Because both schools were very good at other sports too. So yeah, but you know, I was close. I get half a point.
Well, and Coach Acal was an assistant on that Cumberland team. You know, you had Matthew Haynes as well too. So they were in a battle as well. So they were loaded, but they were the only Harlan County team to win a region before Harlan County, and that's not including Harlan City. And you think about the history of Harlan County: Lynch, Wallens, Benham. You could go on and on. But yeah, Kaywood, Everett. So I thought you would know that, CJ.
Well, you got that one by me, but I was on the other end of the county because I was looking at. I'm thinking of Harlan. I'm thinking, okay, I know that he's either going to go Cumberland or Kaywood, so I went with Kaywood because it was closer in the middle. So
yeah, and that was when Rockcastle was in that region.
I can't look at her. I can't. Now, first of all, I've seen her a lot this week. She did come visit me one time. I thought I'd get more than one visit, but she was very busy.
I was going to say I was a little busy.
You're busy, so I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Let's first we'll talk a little sports, and we'll get into you towards the end.
Sure.
Let's talk about Classic. I want a grade on both the boys and the girls. Girls first.
The winner, just kind of like overall.
Overall.
Okay. I think I don't really remember Classic that much my first year here, just because I really didn't know right from left at that point in time when I lived here. So kind of comparing it from last year, I felt like we had a lot better games this year than we did last year. I think there were only 2 that were like kind of runaway games. But I mean, we had like 3 or 4 games going to overtime.
Friday night a record 2 overtime games?
It might have been.
I heard him talking about that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about that.
They said it was the best single night of basketball in the Classic since probably the late 80s.
Yeah, I would agree. One of my favorite games, I'm getting a little off topic, but on the boys' side, it was Harlan Knott. The atmosphere was like insane. That was a really fun game to watch. But I thought girls was really good. North didn't look as good as I thought they would, but you know, it's 2 weeks into the season, so you can't really be mad at them. I thought Knott. My issue with Knott last year was their pace. They play a super slow pace, and when you want to be with the best, usually teams don't play a slow pace. They play a super fast pace. So I thought they matched really well with Valley, who plays a really fast pace. So if they can keep up that fast pace, I think that will help them win the region again and then possibly win a game or 2 at state. Because I think you got to play fast-paced basketball to win games. So yeah, I was impressed by them. Shelby Valley looks good. I'm a little worried about their depth, but you know, that just comes with the program. But yeah, I thought the girls was good. Definitely better than last year for sure. I thought the boys was a lot of fun. I was really surprised by Perry Central. Really surprised.
I think everybody was.
Yeah.
I sat here and we talked and we said, Perry Central they're getting in the Classic this year. What? I mean, they were 8-16 last year. How'd they get in the Classic? And then we sort of figured, there's something there. And then we watched them play the first game against Paintsville. Then we see, they're for real. In the preseason, they were the second-rated hottest team in the region behind Breathitt. And if anybody's team was going to do some damage, Breathitt was going to be ahead of Perry. But then it wound up being the opposite because Perry ended up showing more than what Breathitt did. Do you think that happened this week?
Yes. I mean, my thing with Breathitt, though, like I do think Breathitt will be good. I stand by that. But I just think that it's going to take some time with them because obviously Christian Collins is new and they do have some younger kids. I just think they're going through growing pains. My thing with Perry, besides Ridge, Beverly, I think the 4 other kids are super seniors. So, I mean, there's no excuse for them not to look good. I mean, if you've played basketball for 5 years with the same people, like you need to be on your A game at this point. So, and the addition of Landon Napier was incredible. I know he's really happy at Perry and I'm really happy for him too. So, but yeah, I think Perry shocked the world, literally. I know. They all felt that way, kind of coming in, being the underdogs, and to win, I think, made it that much more special. And I told Tanner this morning, actually. Shannon Hoskins came up to me last night and told me that yesterday was actually the anniversary of his brother's death. So it made the win that much more special, which really touched my heart because I did a story on him back in February for the Big Lou Coaches versus Cancer Classic. So that made me feel good that they won because, that was kind of bigger than just the actual trophy. So
I mentioned, Anthony can tell you, we mentioned earlier in the show. We talked with Eddie Browning about that. We talked about how fitting it was that you can have the 1 year anniversary of his death, and this is how you're going to recognize Big Lou by winning the Mountain Classic. And Absolutely. He would have been there, tickled to death with them and hugging them, and I mean, that's just what he was. He was that passionate type of guy, and but to see him do it yesterday, that's what took me there because that's what made it even more special. So I mean, this was good. Overall, I guess here's my grades of the week. I give the girls a B. I thought the only problem I had with girls was seeding. I thought Shelby Valley should have been the number 2 seed from the whole get-go. Mm-hmm. There was no earthly reason why they wasn't the number 2 seed.
Nope. And I even recommended that to the Classic committee, and they went against me. So
yeah,
that was not my fault.
Yeah. And then on the boys' side, I just think teams like Johnson Central, Shelby Valley right now are not prepared to play in this type of environment. But by end of the year, they will be ready to play in this environment. Mm-hmm. I saw yesterday a very competitive game. Also, I want to give my prayers out for the young man that was hurt towards the end of the Shelby Valley Johnson Central game. They had to take him out on a stretcher for precautionary measures. But hopefully he's okay, and our prayers are with him. But I give the girls a B. I'll give the boys an A-. I thought, though, we talked the whole time, this is the most competitive Mountain Classic from girl boy we ever had. I'll stick to that. I will. I don't think you can find better 8 teams all the way around the board and better games than what you're going to find. Now, I think the venue sometimes has a change of pace. Because I think when you play at Knox County, it's sort of people's like they judge where they play. When they play at Prairie Central, it's full throttle because it's open more. I think are you with me on that? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just different. Your Mountaintop 10 tomorrow night's going to have a knife cut all the way through it and up, and I mean it's going to be gutted because you guys did not change your Mountaintop 10 this week because of the Mountain Classic. You kept the same 10 teams just to get to the Classic. Now, tomorrow night, actually, I've got that in front of me, the WYMT top 10 that I do somewhere here. Let me find. Okay. I did update mine on my Wednesday show. But let's go real quick. You guys had on the boys' side, you had South 1, North 2, Pikeville 3, Shelby Valley 4, Southwestern 5, Bell County. This is girls. I'm sorry. South Laurel 1, North Laurel 2, Pikeville 3, Shelby Valley 4, Southwestern 5, Bell County 6, Knox County 7, Owsley County 8, Knox Central 9, and Lawrence County 10. Now, that's going to be gutted all into pieces because there's going to be probably 2 teams will probably drop out. And you'll probably have 2 new ones in there. Then on the boys, you got Knox Central, North Laurel, Paintsville, Pikeville, Corbin, Breathitt, Harlan, Independent, South, Harlan County, and Betsy Lane, which that probably will be gutted. It won't lose teams. You may lose Betsy Lane, but there'll probably be 1 new team. There'll be a lot of scattering around of those teams. Mm-hmm. So is that what we're looking at? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Like Owsley girls will drop out for sure. They obviously have had issues, but even with the girls out, they've been awful. I mean, just going to be honest. Corbin will drop for sure. They lost to North by 30. It was embarrassing.
And I just told Coach Valentine, I said, how did you keep your guys focused when you had Corbin And then tomorrow night, you got to play South. I mean, in a rivalry game, how do you keep your? But this is how good your team North Laurel is.
Right. No, North. I think this is what I was telling. I don't remember who the other day. North's biggest issue last year was they ran everything through Reed, which is great. Obviously, Reed Shepherd is Reed Shepherd, but teams can figure out the game plan pretty easily. I think
he was on the show, by the way.
I know.
Okay,
I would tell him this straight to his face because I think
I was just helping you out there. He was right there. Okay,
no, but I think he has either realized or everyone else has gotten better. I'm not sure what it is, but like Reed only had 9 points against Corbin. Like that's for them to win. That's what they have to do. He has to be a facilitator. He can't be the main person. He has to make plays for other people. And like Clay Sizemore looked really good. Ryan Davidson looked really good. Brody Brock looked really good. Like the guys around him looked good. And that's not something that we saw every single game last year. So I think that was their biggest improvement, I think, is kind of knowing how to utilize Reed. Like he can't put up 50 points every game like he did last year because they're just not going to win.
But then South has to turn around and play Corbin tomorrow night. And then they're going to play Harlan County Tuesday night on the road in Harlan County. So you talk about South Laurel being in the gauntlet like Corbin, like North is, but you know, me and Nancy was talking 2 weeks in. What do we think? Who do we think's the best? Here's my honesty: 13th region is the best region, the best team in the mountains. I think it's North, but you know, there's 5-6 other teams over there can match them. Harlan Independent, if they had one more sub, I would love to pick them to win the 13th. Because watching them yesterday, I love watching Coach Cal's teams play. Because when he coached the girls, when they had the Brock girl, this is what kind of team he's got, and they're dangerous.
Yeah, I thought Harlan looked better than I thought they would. My only issue with Harlan, and I love Derek Cal and Jordan, don't get me wrong, I feel like they're a little undisciplined. I think that's my biggest issue with them. If they can get the discipline under control, the sky's the limit. But like Jordan was like talking back to a ref, like you can't do that. You're going to get teed up. It's going to screw the game. Like it's just little things like that where I'm like, okay, you need to kind of tighten that up. But yeah, they did look really good. You know who I was disappointed though by is Paintsville. I thought, like, I think they lost Jackson Watts and then maybe one other starter. I can't remember, but they did not play well at all. Like not at all that I thought they would. So they'll probably drop 2.
They did pound Knott. They did come back out and play better against Knott because they took Knott to the woodshed. But I mean, they just didn't come to play.
Yeah.
I'm confused about the 15th because now I don't know who the best team over there is. It might be Pikeville, but I can't find you one right now. I mean, Johnson Central, Shelby Valley, no. Paintsville, maybe. Martin County, I don't know. Pikeville, I don't know. There's a surprise in the box down here. Oh, my Lord. Who could this be? Who could it?
Willie!
Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. Look who is joining us. Oh, my. Would I do such a thing as to bring Willie Holt on your last show? You know, I would do that.
I literally saw the picture yesterday of or maybe it was today. I found the picture of the 3 of us on his last show, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So that's funny.
So guess who delivers and brings you him?
CJ. I'm sure Willie will complain about me because I was just blowing up his phone about 30 minutes ago about something. So
probably.
She calls you a lot, don't she?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time.
I bet if we was taking minutes on your phone, she'd have 90 of them. If there's 100 minutes on a phone, she'd have 90 of them.
He likes it though. He loves.
Oh, he does. He does. He really does.
Sure. That's what I tell her, just to make sure, you know.
Could do this.
Yeah.
This is I mean, Camille means a lot to us. She's special, just like you are. You guys are both. I mean, the past 5-6 years, you guys have been not just what we saw on YMT, but you guys are the friendliest 2 people I've ever known. with Tommy. And I don't. Everybody in the past has always been friendly, but you guys took it to a different level. And to see the last remaining one leave is heartbreaking because, I mean, Tommy went first, and then Willie, and then now you. And I know what you're going to be doing. You've done it to benefit you, to make yourself better. I have nothing but the best wishes. I do have a video that we're going to show here just a little bit. My video to you. It's not the best. It wasn't Willie type stuff, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I had to be careful what music I put on there because every time I sing to do a video, I get flagged for copyright. So I don't want to get I have a couple questions, Willie. Then I'll get back to you. How's recruiting going?
Good. Well, I have not been recruiting. I was out on Friday night, down to Virginia doing some recruiting. But yeah, we had a game on Saturday that we won, and now guys are getting ready for finals. They got finals this week, Monday through Thursday, and then they get to go home on Friday, get a break, and then we start the second semester after Christmas. So, yeah.
What's your guys' record so far? We
are 4-6 right now, 2-2 in conference. So we dealt with some health issues. Some guys we had a guy who didn't start the season because of back issues. We got a guy with shoulder issues who might have to get surgery, and then we had a guy who has been out the whole first semester with quad, like at the plantar fascia, I think is what it is, in his quad, and then just COVID issues too. So we've been battling a lot of different elements and factors. But yeah, 2-2 in conference is the most important thing right now. Got to win on Saturday. So just looking to got 15 games left, and then we go to Roanoke after Christmas, and then we'll come back in the new year and got 13 games left, 12 in conference. So all big games. Yeah.
Tell everybody what division you guys play in.
We play Division III in the MAC Commonwealth Conference, which is there are 7 teams in Pennsylvania, from Harrisburg area all the way towards Philly, going east towards Philly. And then we play against 2 teams in Maryland, one in Baltimore and then one in Frederick, which is kind of north of that DC area. So, yeah, very competitive, very good conference, very competitive conference. Yeah.
A lot of great talent and players have come out of all those places in the past.
So, yeah.
A lot of great basketball there. Camille, I know. First, I'm going to ask you. Tell me what you will miss more than anything leaving. I know that I know you don't want to think about your last day coming up on Thursday, but tell me what you remember. What are some things you remember that you'll never forget?
God, that's a loaded question. Well, I think probably the biggest thing I'll miss, obviously, is the people. I mean, the coaches, the players, my friends here. I would say moments, obviously state for football. I didn't get to go my first year, but it still was amazing. My second year was awesome with Painesville, and then obviously this year with 2 teams winning, and then watching Johnson Central do what they did this year was incredible. Basketball, I think one of my favorite memories was the Harlan County Knox Central game from Classic last year. That was a really fun game. When they were down 16 points a half and came back to win. That was like one of my favorite games. One of my also favorite things games that I've been to is always the Clay County North Laurel District Championship. That has always been like the last 2 years I've been to that game, and that's probably one of the most fun atmospheres you can go to. But yeah, I mean, just the kids, I think the passion, I always talk about that, like the passion in Eastern Kentucky is unlike anything I've ever experienced. I mean, growing up, like high school sports were fun, but it was nothing like this. So I hope that where I'm going, that people care as much as they do here, because, that's what makes it so much fun.
Anthony, you got any questions before we go ahead and I'll play the video for her?
And just thank you for both for your service for WYMT. And what was your favorite moment between like both of you two, whether it be work wise or just friendship wise?
God. I don't know. I think COVID, and I don't know if Willie would agree with me on this, but I think the one good thing about COVID is me and Willie got a lot closer, because before COVID, it was the three of us. And then when COVID hit, Tommy kind of just completely switched to news. So it was really just me and Willie doing sports. So even though we didn't see each other every day, I was calling him pretty much every single day to talk about this, and this, whatever it may be. And I think COVID kind of made me more thankful for him, because I realized, how much he knew about the area, how much he was helping me, and that kind of thing, because like he still could mentor me even though we couldn't really be at work every day. So
many good fortunes. Willie, continue with you, and Camille, many good fortunes to you in Iowa. Hope you really enjoyed up there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I have not watched this, so I do not know how it looks, but everybody's seen this for the first time.
Okay. Really good. I loved it. Thank you so much.
You little pup, by the way, the little furry dog. What's his name?
Snowball.
Snowball.
Yep.
That was perfect fitting for the there. That was lovely. Willie, you want to say to Camille before I let you go? Then I got some stuff I want to say to her. That I know you're a busy man.
No, yeah, we went to see family, so we're about to drive back to Harrisburg, to a little bit shorter drive now, but I mean, Camille, I appreciate you and love you for all the work you put in, all the hard times you gave me throughout our our 2 years together, all the times you made my life difficult. I'll appreciate those times the most. But you did good. You did good. You did something meaningful to the people down there, and they appreciate you and love you. And you always have that with you. And I mean, no matter where you go, you get on ESPN, all those different things, all those different dreams that I know you have, which I know you'll get to. You always remember this, because it really just means more. It does, and you help with that. I want you to know that you are appreciated and loved and cared for by all these people, and yeah, always take that with you. It means a lot to think back on that stuff. Yeah, good job, kid.
Gosh, I made him cry on his last day. Now he's trying to make me cry. So.
Well, you already cried, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, thank you, Willie.
Yep. Call me if you need me, which I know you will.
I'm going to text you right after I get off this. So.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Willie, thank you so much for doing this, and I'll holler at you down the road, and we'll get together again.
Of course, CJ. Just let me know. Anthony, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Merry Christmas to your family, Willie.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Well, Miss Camille, how was that? How'd you like that?
God, he knows how to get me.
First of all, I'm gonna let Anthony give a comment about you too, but I'm gonna let Anthony go first because I've got a little more to say. Probably, he's got a lot to say, but go ahead, Anthony.
Well, hey, Camille, I know you're from Tennessee, so you did great here in the mountains. I saw you at the Pikeville-Russellville game. My brother's the band director at Pikeville, so I saw you walking the sidelines there. It was an epic game. Came down to the end, but I'm glad you got to see two mountain teams win a state championship your last go around here, and just keep following your dreams. Just put the hard work into it, and be who you are. Be yourself. Be true to who you are. Learn how to, don't let all the negative thoughts that people say to you get to your head. Just try to shake that off and always remember the encouraging things, because people who care about you will always be there for you. And whether it's family, friends, Willie, whoever it'll be, and wish you many blessings and hope you reach all your dreams that you have set out for your life in the future.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
First of all, I want to say that I'm going to miss you dearly. I want your new phone number when you get it.
Yes, of course.
I do want to stay in touch. I do want you to come back, and I want you to be a co-host on this show with me.
Yes,
because definitely. I think that I would love that to happen. But for what I've seen, nothing against John and Courtney, and I'm going to get to know them better, and I'm going to get to love them and get to embrace and even the newer people that'll be coming on. This group, for some purpose, you, Tommy, Marcus, you guys, you touch my heart. You guys took me under your wing. You showed me the side of sports that I didn't see. But in return, the mountain people gave it back to you, because you're all of you are special. You're so special because you got a heart of gold. And I know that you want to do so much more in your life. And I hope that you get everything you ask for, because you deserve it. WYMT is losing a gold mine. But you're going to go to bigger and better things, and you will return a much happier and much well-rounded individual. You're already a well-rounded because you know everything. You picked up on it so well. And I had some people yesterday at the game tell me that they can't believe you're leaving. They said they wouldn't watch the sports overtime no more. I mean, this is the passion of these people in the mountains, Camille. And we love you, and we're going to miss you so very much. And I just hope nothing but the best for you and your family. And I just hope that you get everything you want.
Thank you, CJ. That means a lot. I'm going to miss you guys too, but, it's the right move. So it'll be hard. Like I've told everybody else, it'll be bittersweet, but, all good things must come to an end. So.
If you like that video, I will some way try to get it to you. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you like a copy of it or not, but I'll
just post it on Facebook and tag me. That'll work.
I'll try to post it on Facebook. Hope they don't flag me.
Yeah, you might get copyrighted.
Yeah. I've been copyrighted so much lately on my videos. I got to learn how to do that. I've not done very well at all. But I'm just going to let you finish the show with us because we only got 2 minutes anyway. I want to thank everybody that watched the show tonight. I want to thank everybody that left comments. I especially want to thank all of our guests. I want to thank Coach Smith from Owsley County, Coach Eddie Browning, Coach Nate Valentine, and Reed Shepard for being with us, and one of the best people you could ever meet. And please, if you're ever on the street, please stop and talk to Camille Gear. She's worth your time. And I want to thank Anthony Bazalian for being. Anthony, you've been on your game tonight. I mean, you was the best I've ever seen. You was on it. Get it, big guy. He was getting it. I'll let you give your final comments in just a moment, too, okay? Want to remind everybody, I'll be back with you Wednesday night for the CJ Harris Sports Report. We'll have week 3 basketball regional rankings, top 25, and the new look at the WYMT Mountain Boys and Girls Classic top 10s, as they'll be completely moved around. Also, I'll be back with you next Sunday night, December 19th, for episode number 19 of the CJ Harris Show. My co-host is going to be John Bentley. And I've already heard from John Lowe. He's going to be our 9:30 person. And we got to try to find a way to get Courtney on here more because I know she has internet problems where she lives. So we're going to try to find a way we can get her. Maybe she can do it from the station or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe she can. We got to get her on here more. And I need to meet the new girl because I just saw glimpses of her at the Classic, but she'll probably be shooting a lot of video too, and I'll see her sometime. So I need to get to meet her. But I'll be John Bentley will be with me, the Montgomery County boys basketball coach, and we'll have much more as well. Also, go to my YouTube channel, the CJ Harris channel. Go check me out. Give me a subscription, subscribe. I'd like to get 1,000 subscribers because I'd love to do some more live stuff on YouTube. Anthony, go ahead and give me your final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here.
Just everybody, thanks for having me, CJ. I appreciate it, and you're the man. And everybody loves you in the mountains, and you know your stuff. And I think Camille would probably agree with this, but every time I see you at the games, you always bring a smile to my face. I forget about my problems for a little bit, and I'm like, got to go talk to CJ. So, and
I'll say something funny, probably. So I don't know.
And seriously though, Camille, even though I didn't get to know you that well, I know you got to know Brian Milam, Derek Forrest, I'm sure, Josh McKinney, a few other people. So you've gotten a lot of advice from some men that I have a lot of respect from, and probably even, if I can say this, Carly Bell, because I think she often gets forget for maybe sometimes, but Carly always was really cool too. But you just keep doing what you're doing, and like CJ, I agree with him. I hope you reach all your dreams, seriously, and thanks again, CJ, for having me on.
It's been an honor, Anthony. One thing we talked about Carly Bell, you also need to talk about Lauren was before Carly. Lauren Cash. Those are two dandy people, and Camille just continued the tradition of the great young ladies that were doing sports at WYMTV, and that's why that it's so special to watch them. And it's an honor. When we're done being live, I'm gonna say something to both of you off the air, so don't leave me. But I want to tell everybody. This is, as I always do in every show, this is CJ Howard, rounding third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. God bless. Happy holidays, and we'll see you Wednesday night with the Sports Report and Sunday night with episode 19 of the CJ Howard Show.